Hey, it's Kyle Meredith, host of the Kyle Meredith With podcast, presented by WFPK at WFPK.org and the Consequence Podcast Network. It's a series that puts the spotlight on iconic musicians and actors, inviting them to drop by and talk about their latest projects, whether it's albums, TV shows, films, or beyond.
I'm going to say something I don't want to say. Here it goes. Without Spinal Tap, there is no Tenacious D.
Whoa! Man! We get great stories and the biggest scoops from people like Garbage's Shirley Manson, the 1975's Matty Healy, Jack Black and Kyle Gass of Tenacious D, Maya Hawke, Kiefer Sutherland, and everyone in between. New episodes arrive every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so it's a great way to keep up with your favorite artists and discover some new ones. You can find Kyle Meredith With on the Consequence Podcast Network or wherever you get your podcasts.
Thank you guys for showing up. This is John and Sean. We're gonna go behind the curtain for Patreon exclusive a listen shortly. But before we do that, we'll stay in front of the curtain, kind of let everyone know who you guys are, and really entice them to listen to this historic episode.
I love it.
So, John,
me,
yes. So
you.
what about me?
Most of our listeners know who you are as probably, arguably, one of the most famous ska bassists in the planet, right?
Correct.
He's no Steve Foot.
He's not.
Yeah.
I'm not. But second famous then, I guess.
You are playing currently with Jeff Rosenstock. Are you doing anything else currently?
Currently, no.
What's that Irish band you're in?
There's an Irish band. Well, you can talk about that, Sean. But
I just know you're proud of the work you've been doing. I don't want you to forget, how you forgot about the Inevitables in your real episode.
I did forget about them.
I just won't be forgotten.
Well, you can talk about that. No, I want to do other stuff. But I'm so busy with the Jeff band and then real life. It's hard. Like, I'm trying to carve out 2 days to play with Oceanator this month. But it's just hard. There's, adulting, they call it, right? It's just,
yeah.
Hey. And then the Jeff band is just so busy. It's hard to do anything else. But there's the Inevitables. I think Obi wanted to do a couple new songs. He was threatening to send me some tracks. So maybe that'll happen. I actually saw John Deegan, who is in that band too, the other day at work, a work gig, a fancy Thai gig that we were both working. And we discussed our band, The Inevitables, that has not done anything new in a while. But
What was this fancy Thai gig?
Fancy Thai. It was just like a fundraiser, and he was playing in the jazz band. And I was doing the sound for the event. And we were like, oh, that's fun. Look at that. We're at the same thing.
Yeah. Gotta make money when you're playing in ska and punk bands.
Yeah, or you just got to do something when you're home. You'd be so bored, right? You got to go to work. Yeah. What am I I'm not going to have a job for 7, 8, 9 months of the year. My wife would kill me. She's like, get out of here. Go to work.
Work. And also, in addition to playing with Jeff now, you have been playing with Jeff in different iterations of his various projects, going all the way back to ASOB, right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, let's move on to Sean, who may be not as known to our listeners as John is,
but he might be.
Might be. What's your full name again? McCabe?
Yeah, that's my last name. It's not my full name.
It's Sean McCabe.
Yes, Sean
Doctor.
McCabe.
It actually says Dr. Sean.
Well, I don't want to be mistitled.
Recording.
Yeah, because sometimes I'll go to a wedding, it'll be like Mr. I'm like, no, I'm not Mr. Mr. McCabe's my father. I'm Dr. McCabe.
You're lucky it didn't say Miss.
Well,
Miss McCabe.
That's
unmarried.
Well, I am married. Gleefully married. Thankfully.
Okay, what kind of doctor are you? Dr. Sean McCabe?
I'm a doctor of psychology.
All right.
Yeah.
And so let's give the broad strokes of your musical legacy. Don't get too deep in there because we're gonna get deeper into it behind the curtain. Just give
Sure.
folks just a general sense of who you are.
I guess
What you've done.
yeah. I mean, I was the second trombonist in the Arrogant Sons of Bitches during my, end of high school, college years. I played trombone and other things in Bomb the Music Industry after that, including mandolin, which I was not invited to play, but I just started bringing a mandolin around, and
It's
no one
true.
could stop me.
We couldn't.
And those are my big two, but I played in some other bands as well. The Fad. I played on a Bruce Lee band EP. And then of course now I do my Irish laptop ska pandemonium things.
What? Wait, we're skipping right over premarital sex.
Well, you told me not to get too down and dirty, but premarital sax was my first band that I started when I was 14 years old, and that was the band I was in all 4 years of high school, and that's the band that I played in while ska was dying, and I started meeting all the ASOB people because of premarital sax, and basically, my life would not have been the same if it wasn't for premarital sex.
And now you are you've switched gears to Irish music.
Well, yeah, I grew up on Irish music. Like I always liked Irish music, and I loved ska music in like middle school on. But I was really, I was the most average guitar player in the room. So every band I was in, I would play trombone. And then eventually, when I was like 23, I was like, maybe I want to not play trombone in a band and see what that's like. And that left me, the only other kind of ostracized punk rock subgenre was Irish. So I started an Irish band in 2007 called the Rocky Sullivans, which is my, the pre-doctoral version of Rocky Sullivan, Side D, my current project.
Yes. And you have done Irish Dream.
Oh yeah, John didn't like
Irish
that
Dream. And in the works we have Gale Mode, right?
Gale Mode is not actually in the works. That was just
it's not in the works.
That was just a 53-second thing to annoy John with.
It was nice, I guess.
It was just, it was content for my 68 Twitter followers to enjoy.
I like the videos. I think the videos are nice.
Yeah, it's
they're short too. I can look at them and then I don't have to think about it after a minute.
Just kind of fun little things to say, stay fresh while our full length ska record is being mixed.
1 month, one song per month mixed.
2 months.
2 months. One song per.
The first single was out in August. And the second single was out in October. But bi-monthly, nobody actually knows if that means twice per month or once every 2 months. So I avoid using that phrase altogether.
That's why he's a doctor.
These videos, you record them at your doctor's office?
No, because the doctor's office is like, we actually all got an email from like the Toby Flenderson of the agency saying everybody needs to stop wearing earbuds because it's bad for any number of reasons. So I thought it would be a bad look if I brought in my tripod and microphone and gear and banjos and mandolins. If we can't have earbuds, I thought that would certainly be frowned upon. So I do it in my I make the little videos in my son's room, which he refuses to sleep in. So it's become my home studio. I'm in it right now. There's 2 trombones, a cornet that I don't know how to play, mandolins, and tenor guitars. These are the things I'm looking at. Of course, John's favorite instrument, my frog hero that I shoehorn into every song. So yeah, but that's where
it's his signature sound.
It's my tone.
It's
frog tone.
All right. So on that note, we're gonna go behind the curtain now, and we're gonna get into some deep, important ska history.
Premarital.
All right, that's all you're going to get for now. But behind the curtain, you can hear the rest of this conversation with John and Sean talking about bomb the music industry and arrogant sons of bitches. Listen, this Patreon is what helps make this show run. So, $5, sign up for the Patreon. You can hear this whole conversation and so many others. And we'll leave you by saying, ska now more than ever.